on a personal level? Is there anything at all you're doing to prepare or anything you're doing to try and prevent it on a personal level, Benjamin?
Outside of my teaching, I mean, when I do media appearances, I just try to talk about this as much as I can. And I design curriculum on media literacy. I think teaching, I teach high school kids, middle school kids how to consume media. And at least if you can't learn about it, to be able to separate information from misinformation and just and whoever I can get in contact with. And here's how you understand. And that involves understanding the use of rhetoric, the use of political persuasion or propaganda. And just so at least we can try to be better informed.
And is there a central concern you have about the world we're heading into and the new technologies and AI and all these things that sits above all other concerns?
It's a breakdown of civic literacy, that we don't understand how governments work. We don't understand how our government works on a local level, on a broader level. And we lose the civic connection with our literal neighbors. We don't care. We're not invested in them. Their well-being is not our well-being. And so it's every person fights for themselves. And I'm going to vote for the person who yells and screams the loudest. So I think a civic breakdown, contributes to that polarization. That's what I'm concerned about.
Same question to you, Annie. Anything you're doing to prepare, and what's your central concern above all others?
Well, on a hopeful, optimistic point, I would say that one of the most fascinating moments for me in this past year was being asked to come to the Vatican to speak to the cardinals about nuclear war, a scenario, so that they could talk to the Pope, and this was Pope Francis when he was still alive, about his and better inform him about his efforts for peace. So how's that for a paradox? Talk about nuclear war to think about peace. And what I learned in that process was that a lot of the hope lies in getting individuals like the Pope, like the United Nations, these third parties that are not government specific, to help engagement for these different nations' diplomats to have better conversations. And so you have world leaders who, in essence, I love your point about civics, like just this idea about your neighbor. I got the sense from the Vatican, and I'm not a Catholic, but I got a sense of the neighbor as a concept, the people. And that, yes, we want to have a really strong defense in the United States, and I think that's an important part of national security, if not the most important part of national security. But you must also have a care about your neighbor, others on the planet, and I was really inspired that this whole world exists out there that I was not privy to before, at the United Nations, at the Vatican, and elsewhere, to get people to communicate.
And Andrew?
I'm leaving the United States, brother. I am fully engaged in relocating and emigrating with my family, finding one of those safe havens around the world where we can just plug in and become part of a community, become part of a globe, understand and raise my children as global citizens, and global citizens who are American rather than American citizens who reject the globe.
Where are you going to go, and when are you going to go?
Or is that classified?
So I'm not going to tell really anybody where. I'll tell you personally where. But we had a plan to leave by 2030.